Hey, how you doing? It's me, Nomad here. So this is part of our series on how to be an urban nomad. So I guess you're curious and you're interested. That's why you're watching. So it's like, how do I do this? Like, so this whole series of videos, I'm gonna assume you know nothing, like my daughter. So I'm basically making these videos for my daughter, and I'm gonna tell you step by step exactly what to do. Um, so I guess you're in a matrix. You want to break out of the matrix. What do I mean by that matrix? I mean this economic matrix we live in, where you have to pay rent and do all this crap to feed the people at the top, and you feel like a slave and you're not happy, and you want control over your life, and you can have it. So before I kind of get into that, what to do, I feel like I need to talk about the right attitude to have, because a lot of people, they just don't have the right freaking attitude. They're like spoiled children, and they just, and the system does that to you. It pampers you. Here's your coffee. Here's your hamburger. Here's your place. Here's your car, right? You don't have to do anything. We'll do it for you. Just give us some money. We'll do everything. You just sit there with your soda and enjoy life. We'll take care of you, right? The problem with that is, it all sounds great. It's like, yeah, the problem with that is that when there's a pandemic or a economic downturn, or you lose your job, or whatever the heck crisis happens to you, you're just left there with nothing on your butt, right? And we don't want that. And we want to be strong, empowered individuals and families. And that's what, urban nomads is about, and the alternative living thing is about. And that's the natural way. That's the way we're supposed to be. Like, we're not supposed to be these weak little, like, city people that can't do nothing. And I'm not, obviously, I'm just generalizing, but I do think the system kind of encourages dependency, weakness, just laziness, and just sort of, and consumerism. Hey, I'm as guilty as anyone else. I've had my consumer guilty, weak, lazy moments, for sure. I know all about it. So, and then I got my butt kicked out, and then I had to, like, get strong and, buck up or whatever. Anyway, and it's been good. It's been a good journey. So this is the thing, it's gonna require work, and you have to have a kind of frontier attitude, like a mountain man attitude. Like, you're gonna go into the woods and the forest, or into nature, and you're gonna make it happen. Like, that's the attitude you have to have. Like, you have to be determined and focused, and that's not for everyone, I guess. It's just, but the trade-off it's not any harder than the other way. And the trade-off is that you'll feel empowered and in control of your life, which is the way you're supposed to be. The reason that all that other crap is happening is because it feeds the 1%, or the top percent. I don't know what percent they are, but the people at the top, like, it feeds them. So, so you got to have that attitude. What does that mean, though? It means, like, you have to, when you're confronted with a problem, you have, like a video game, you have to try to solve the problem. You have to take a step back and not be, even if it's really bad, like, you can do it. Like, you can, especially now with the internet and YouTube and stuff, like, there's just no excuse. Like, anyone can do anything nowadays. It's just a matter of, do you want to or not? Like, yeah. So, but you got to go in with the attitude, like, when there's a crisis or something, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to learn how to solve this problem. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to overcome this barrier, get around this obstacle. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to, I'm going to push forward. I'm going to move forward. Like, I can do this. Like, this is the attitude you have to have. If you're used to being comfortable and everything kind of, you're used to having money and just buying whatever and not having to really do anything other than your job, well, you're going to have to change your attitude. And the cool thing is, you can do this, and you can do it in an easy, gradual way. It doesn't have to be all at once, right? You can slowly move into it, which is the natural way, which is what I talked about in the first video, the natural way of living. The natural way of living is much easier, more fun, more joyful, more fulfilling, better. I mean, life does not have to be this horrible, dark rat race that this system is making us think it has to be. So, I'm just putting that out there because if you're not mentally prepared to have that attitude, then it's just not going to happen. You're going to run into an obstacle or something. I don't want to do this. It's too hard. I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff to help you make it as easy as possible so that it doesn't have to happen to you. But yeah, that's a problem. Like my daughter was like, I don't want to have to fix up an RV. It's like, okay, well, you don't have to, but you still have to have the attitude like, I might have to fix something. You know what I mean? And the problem is, the more you don't want to do, the more expensive this whole endeavor is going to be. Okay. So, there's a spectrum, right? You could have like a really expensive vehicle and everything's working great, but you had to finance it and it costs a lot of money whenever something does break. Or you could have like a really cheap vehicle where every single thing is broke, which is kind of like my situation. But it's something that you can do, and you can pretty much solve like 80% of the problems. But it takes it's like a job almost. And then there's a spectrum in between of that. So that's just what I wanted to say. Like, a good analogy is like, yeah, just like homesteading. I think it's homesteading. Like, you got some land and you're gonna go build your house on this land. Like, that's the attitude you have to have. You're gonna start with a vehicle, but you still have to have that attitude. And the cool thing is, like, a lot of vehicle living is actually good preparation for homesteading. And I would say that that's a good path that a lot of people take. Like, they start with a car, they end up with an RV or a boat, and then eventually they actually end up with some land that they own, and they build their own house. And all the stuff you learned along the way helps you get to that place. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's like my next goal. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And that's all I can really say on that. Like, you just have to have kind of a frontier DIY, do it yourself, creator, maker attitude. And you can do it. All right. Like this video, subscribe, share with your friends, and because there's a lot of people that could use this information. Okay, talk to you soon.